Hi, I'm Joshua Hayward, and thanks for joining me for Life Readings this week in the Stars and Cards. And let me extend an invitation to you to join me each week as I explore all the possibilities and the challenges and the opportunities for inward growth and outward effectiveness. And this is brought to you by Breath of Life School in Yellow Springs, Ohio, and many blessings. Enjoy. Too stubborn to begin something new? Or maybe you're just a little nervous, or maybe you have a history of something in the past where you tried to initiate something and either failed or ran into some really tough obstacles. But just a note on that obstacles really shape our inspiration into something that's strong and something that's durable and lasting. Things that we work for, we tend to appreciate. Anyway, that's a little bit of the elder wisdom. When I was younger, I didn't know those kind of things at all, and I suffered a fair amount for that. But anyway, that's just decide where you're at right now. This week, beginning August 8th here, we've got a new moon in the sign of Leo, and that means the sun and the moon are in a conjunction next to, right aligning with each other in that sign of Leo. And yes, this Leo conjunction is another one that relates back to the Uranus-Saturn square that I've been talking about for several weeks, which is by now actually pulling apart. And the new moon really relates more to the Uranus in the sign of Taurus on that square angle there, but it's still about really deciding what we value and what you really want to get behind. And then, so this week with the new moon, making that change and taking advantage of the nature of Uranus, even though it's in the sign of Taurus, it's bringing about great changes in our societies, in our human societies. So on an individual level, your opportunity is to go on beyond where you've gone before, aligning your heart and your mind and moving past that too stubborn to change, too stubborn to do what's really new. But I have to say that you already know what you want to do. Especially if you've been watching these videos the last few weeks, there's so many opportunities that we've had to look at it from just a slightly different angle. We've had an opportunity to speak and to think and, to say and to feel and to psychologically, be with that process and to hang with it in our hearts and to let Christ consciousness open the heart up and connect with source energy. That's what we've got going on right now. So ride this quest of this new moon, because that's a great time to initiate things. And like I said, you already know what you want to do, or you're pretty close to it. So let's go ahead and start moving with it. A couple of other things looking forward here, that we're going to get another full moon. That'll be 2 full moons in a row in the sign of Aquarius, and that's on the 22nd, and that full moon will be conjunct Jupiter, so there'll be some really good feelings. That's going to be a wonderful experience. It'll be a great time to be with friends and community, and the big picture of inspiration will kind of kick in at that point in time. Also, we're looking, and I can't remember the exact date, but I think it's the 20th. Right before that, we have the stationing to go retrograde of that planet Uranus that I just mentioned earlier. And so that is going to set forth the choices that you're making right now to move towards something new, something that you really desire. Well, with Uranus stationing, that's going to amp that up. Also, I just wanted to put out that a word of caution, in the next couple of weeks or so, that with the stationing of Uranus, it really brings some destabilizing kind of energies. And of course, the insurrection at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. on January 6th was happening in a Uranus station. So that's all I kind of wanted to say, is that we could have some pretty hectic possibilities as we move and penetrate deeper into this month of August here in 2021. But to really stay, to stay in your own lane, and to be aware of what's going on, but yet let that inspiration that's already building within you move you forward, and get ready to take some steps and to experience life in a different way. As Uranus does station and go retrograde, that will be the last of all the planets changing direction since last holiday season. Okay, so we're moving now towards the next holiday season, and all the planets will be changing direction once again. It's like another wave or another turn in the spiral of our lives. Okay, and so we're sort of entering that, and then we'll of course move into the fall or autumnal equinox, and that'll be part of that as well. So anyway, we'll proceed with some cards, and let's see what we've got. Now, this is personally for you. All right, now I'm turning these cards, and if you're watching that, it could be for me, but it is for you, anybody. This is what's available here. These cards are a response and a very deep connection to the stars. So they're both parts of this generalized and very, I would say, as objective as possible as I can be. Okay? And so the first card, interestingly enough, it's a really positive card because, it's sort of like what can happen as we move forward. There's a possibility, a definite possibility of the Queen of Discs. This is almost like posing like a significator card, it feels like this time in this particular week here of this week in the stars and cards. And she's the Queen of Discs or Earth or Pentacles. So there's this nurturing of the Earth space. So this is the changes that you make, you will be able to earth them. And this is kind of what you want, is to be a human being with having a spiritual experience, but on the planet, to where you can embrace being here in a less than tentative way, more of a full way. And so let's go with another card here, and my goodness, okay, we've got another Earth card, the 8 of Discs, the 8 of Earth, or the 8 of Pentacles in many tarot packs. This is the prudent steps to turn the tides, taking those steps. So it's very much in alignment with the significator card of the Queen of Earth. And it doesn't matter that it's a feminine card there. It doesn't matter who you are. Be, non-binary or male or female or whatever you identify with, okay? And it's just that's just that energy there of really being nurtured by the earth. and letting the earth nurture you. Okay, so this is taking the steps prudently, all right, to move forward, you know. So it's saying get over whatever your hesitancy may be. You're going to get help, okay? That's the second card. Now we're going to go for the third card, probably heading for 6 cards here. And wow, we have yet another Earth card, the 2 of Earth, or the 2 of Discs, the 2 of Pentacles. And this is called change. And you can see that in this change there's an awareness. Jupiter is in the sign of Capricorn here. Structurally, you're learning by changing. You're learning how to make change consciously. That's a positive take, a spin on this whole new moon thing. Yeah, it's like as you move forward, you're learning about positive change and learning how to do it consciously. So let's go with another card, all right? And yeah, right here is, there's almost always a card, isn't there, you know, or something that's going to be like a roadblock or something like that. We need roadblocks. We need to hesitate at times. We need to deal with our stuff and to break through in order to fully appreciate where it is we're going. You know, I can't say that enough. This is the 5 of Cups, and the cups are not full here. They're empty, and there's a stinger kind of, because Mars is in the sign of Scorpio here, so that stinger's out and it kind of hurts because there's frustration, and so this relates back to some of the baggage of history of the past that I mentioned earlier. Okay, the 5 of Cups with the cups empty is that, yeah, you've got disappointments. Don't let that get in the way of moving forward, because the growth here is so important. I can't even say how important it is at this particular stage in not just your history, but in human history, where we're at right now. These are critical days. And so let's, moving past that history into, and here's an energetic card. We're looking at a new moon in fire in Leo. This is the Ace of Wands, all right? Ace of Fire. So it's a new beginning. This is what will help us break through, is embracing that passion that we have within us, with this flame that's burning, that wants to move forward towards manifesting. In fact, here's a little esoteric explanation of this card. These little parts of the flame here, and there are 10 of them, and they're sort of formed into the tree of life here in the Kabbalah. But each one is in the shape of the Hebrew letter Yud, and Yud is like the hand of God, and it's about manifesting. So here's the new energy that can manifest, and we're looking back at that Queen of Earth, right? We're looking at taking positive steps with the 8. We're looking at the change with the 2. We're busting through that disappointing type of energy. So how are we going to finish out this? And this spread, and we'll look at the 6th and final card, which will be the Princess of Discs, or of Earth. And she's kind of like the daughter of the Queen, and she extends things farther and she makes them manifest. Princesses are making it happen. And so I want to say a couple of things about this Princess of Earth. She's saying to you right now that yes, maybe you've been through this forest, you're getting ready to emerge. There's this light you may not be able to see too well right here on the tip of the crystal tip of the spear. You do have positive vision and energy here. And the Tao here, the yin-yang symbol, you do have the wisdom from where you've been. You've got the right stuff to move forward, okay? And she moves into completion. She's transfiguring herself into a new life. It's a reconfiguration. And so not only can you step forward from your past, but right now with that princess, the other thing is it promises a journey that will also manifest something that you will step forth from too. This is a spiraling journey on the earth, okay? And we revisit so much. And we learn from new angles and we move on. And we need to learn how to embrace that. And right now we're looking at a time where that is really, really in the stars here. Look at all the possibilities that we have right now. We can manifest them if we keep our heart open to the dreams and keep our mind fresh with the heart's desires. So this is Joshua Hayward with Life Readings here. And this has been another episode of This Week in Stars and Cards. And invite you to tune in for the next session. And be sure, as you move forward, or as you sit where you're at, to seek the divine in all things.